Okay, hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of the SIFAS Ending Journal. And today we're gonna be checking out the story. So there's a few things that I can talk about this. In a nutshell, how the story worked is that at the very beginning, when the game released, there was first season and there were 7 chapters available on release. A few others got added afterwards, but they were these ones. They have some narrative, like I've forgotten, but how the story worked, well, it's actually been changed a little bit ever since, but pretty much it's usually like 10 episodes, and then you read the episode. When you read an episode, you get some star gems, 10, then you get a song, which these songs can be, well, in these early stages, I don't remember if you had to play them here in the story to unlock them. I don't entirely recall. But the interesting thing about them is that they will often be a different attribute. So let me, for example, Anatomy here in this one, answer. Okay, so Genki Senkai Dai Dai Dai. This song normally is a natural attribute. However, here it's cool, and if we check the gimmicks, it says that the skill activation rate for non-cools will fall by 10%. So not only are they different in attribute, and their gimmicks may change with it, but also the values of them. The bitmaps tend to be similar to the advanced version of the songs, but they tend to be easier in the stories. So for example, I think it's a 50% reduction to skill activation if you're not natural. No, sorry, if you're not... Oh yeah, natural. For the Genki Senkai Dai 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 regular version. But for here, you see it's just a 10%, and for cool because the song changes. So songs here tended to be different attributes, and that's fine. I don't think it applies anymore, so... Well, that was here. They cost also 16 LP to play no matter what. Let me go to Season 2 to see if we can actually do something else. Well, in between Season 1 and 2 they had an intermission, which was a bit different. It's like nothing really major. Alright, great. This is something else that I want to see. If we change the difficulty here... So here you can see that this one was actually just worth 9 LP. I don't remember if that happened at the beginning of Season 1 as well, but here when they went to Season 2, the LP cost for the songs was less, and if I switch to the hard one, okay, it's 16. So it was less, and it started increasing as you kept going through the chapters. Alright, this one's still 9, so this one was chapter 20, so as you went 21 to 23, this price would increase until it reached the 16 threshold, and at a certain point it just stayed like that. Additionally, Season 2 here, and it stayed for a few more, introduced hard mode, which literally turns these songs into hard mode. Usually they're even harder than their advanced counterparts. It depends on the song, and also they get harder as you go through the season. So let me go like to chapter 30 for example here, and I'll show you an example with like music start for instance, which they're asking. Okay, 6 million is not that much. Let me find another example. Okay, here I am in Season 3, and Happy Maker for instance, that's for 12 million. I'm pretty sure that Happy Maker asks for like 10 on its regular version. And usually the gimmicks here may be a bit harder, and definitely the requirements for the ACs, they will be harder. I don't have a one-to-one comparison with the actual advanced one, but yeah, they're harder. And that was the point of this when they added this. It was available for Seasons 2 and 3, and I guess the intermission in between them. As I said, when you clear an episode you get 10 gems that get sent to your present box. Then when you clear a song, you also get 10 gems as represented by the little cups here, the trophies, which are the same that you get in regular songs. And when they added hard mode, they added an additional 10, so you could rip up to 20. So it was per chapter, 300 I think? Yeah, because it was 100 from the stories, 100 from the songs, and an additional 100 from the hard version of the songs. So that was exciting. Of course, they were hard, let me tell you, so it's normal if some people that were lower level couldn't do them. Now, as I said, that stayed only for third. I don't remember if intermission here, but starting for 4th season, they got rid of it. There was no hard mode anymore. But I don't know if I can see it here, the very important information. They did buff up the amount of rewards that you get. So 4, 6, and 10. So you would still get 20 gems out of them. It's just that there was no hard version anymore. And I think by this point, they made the songs really, really easy. The problem is that when you made the songs hard in story, you prevented people not only from advancing through the stories, because you needed to unlock a previous chapter to get to the next. Like I needed to clear chapter 45 to unlock 46. And at the same time I had to beat the songs that were in here to unlock new songs. So when a month began, okay, I think maybe this one could be an example. So for example, Dancing Stars of Me would debut as the unattributed event song at the beginning of a month, and you would have daily goals to play it at least once a day in every one of the 2 events. And then when the month ended, it would get its actual attribute version, and you needed to beat it here in the story. It could be just in the easy one, normal, I mean, to get it, to be able to play it in normal life. And then at the whole end of the chapter, we had, for example, Humming Friend. So again, you needed to beat Humming Friend in here, which would be a completely new song added to the game, in order to unlock it in regular life. So that's how it worked. Let me see if I have anything else that I can discuss. There was a little bit of an unique feature in the first season, though I don't remember exactly which episode it is. Alright, I found it. So it's this unique one where they are gonna ask you, oh, they have a live tomorrow, who should I message to encourage? And you can pick a member and you will talk to them, and well, I'm gonna skip it because I don't really care about the conversation, but depending on who you choose here, the song at the end is going to change. I had the Kazumi one in here, so you're actually able to get a whole 90 gems, sorry, out of choosing every single idol in this chapter and then getting here. So yeah, that was a thing. Okay, another thing, I do remember that these chapters, they used to have more songs and they were more packed before, so you could even get more gems out of them, but at some point they did a change where they cut it. So if you hadn't done them, then those were potential gems that you lost because they cut the amount of content that these early chapters had. I can't really showcase it, but I do remember that happening, that being a thing. Okay, I think that's mostly everything. I guess I can showcase this because it's part of the story. In this tab you can actually see all of the previous stories from every event. Secret Party, which was the very first one. In case you didn't participate in that event and you didn't get the point threshold to unlock them, those stories would appear here, even if you never read them. Like, as you know, I never read all of this. But it still says complete because I did unlock the point thresholds for them. Okay, and you use memory keys in case you don't have this to unlock them, but that's like the main use that those items have. They're kind of useless anyways because, for example, for someone like me, I have no use for them. But here's where you can find all the old event stories. And also in this little thing here is where the anime campaigns were held, where when the animes were airing, every week they would have special episodes and they would give you special rewards from reading them in a certain time. So they remain here as well. That's where you can see them, and of course I haven't actually read them, but yeah. That's pretty much it for story. So just today we did get the final drops. So as I said, usually the game started with 7 chapters on release, and then every beginning of the month we would get a new chapter. I'm pretty sure that it was always like that, and if it wasn't a season then it was an intermission like this. The only difference is that for this final season, which is only these 3 chapters, I do believe we got like chapter 50 and chapter 51, which chapter 50 was the last one of this one. Yep, we got them at the beginning of May, then we got chapter 52 at the middle of May, which was a first, it was never like that. And just today's May 30th, we got the final chapter, which I have not read, and I have not read anything ever since chapter 27 because it was so bad that I just dropped it. I will make the try and actually read this one, okay? It's the final one. I have seen that there is a new exclusive song to this, which is gonna be the final SIFAS song. Also, the music that's playing right now, it's kind of emotive and sentimental because it mixes all of the main title screen themes that the game had. It's a bit heartwarming to hear it, honestly. So I'll read this, maybe I'll give my thoughts after this. Okay, so for example, here I am, so we have the first episode. I'm gonna show how it is. You are just in the middle of writing a song for the festival when a group call comes through you from the members. So I'm just gonna quickly do this. I do plan on reading it, but for now I'm just gonna download it. Here we are, but okay. Just gonna take a little break here and skip this. And then we get one of the songs. As I said, these songs tend to be random. They are different attributes from the actual ones. But as of the latest ones, they also tend to be really easy. Like, look at this, they only ask for 1 million. So I usually just, well, not out of layout information, I just use a really, a decent theme and just go through them. So we can use this one for example. I would often try to play this myself, like actually play them on my phone and do them manually. But the thing is, at a certain point in March of 2022, SIFAS started performing really bad on my phone and it would crash often. And one of the reasons for the crashing was story for some reason. It would just crash when I tried to read them or even get into the live shows. So I had to restart to use BlueStacks like how I am doing now. That's why I used BlueStacks in the first place for this game, because I didn't before March 2022. Also, as you can see, the 50,000 cap is still active for these versions of the songs. They never updated it, and it's not like they needed to, but it's just an interesting thing. I guess I can tell you also, I had mentioned it on Voltage ranking before for the token exchange event, but it was actually quite popular to use story versions of songs for Voltage ranking because of the fact that I think because they were story, the SP value amount was like less than regular songs, and if you had the right teams, you could like SP spam them crazily and get more. Also, during the season 2 and 3 ones, or yeah, in those ones, since the hard versions of the songs even rewarded more voltage from clearing the ACs, it was also usually a better option to play those versions. Even if, especially if they have a different attribute, because let's say that a song is elegant, but you have a really strong cool attribute team, and there just so happened to be a voltage ranking song that normally it was elegant, but there was a version of it that was cool attribute in the story, so it was actually better for you to do that cool attribute one, and you could get way more score than the elegant one in regular advance, and you would get more voltage for your ranking. So that's what people did. But after they raised the voltage cap in regular versions to 100,000, and since that didn't retroactively happen to these other stories, then people stopped doing that, or at least I stopped doing it, because I was no longer getting anything else. Okay, so now we're here, make a type of history, and it's the next chapter, so it's gonna be the same. Because I cleared this one, let me show you right now. So I got 20 gems from this, from clearing it, and additionally from reading chapter 1, well, quote-unquote reading. If I check my present box, you'll see that I indeed have 10 gems. Chapter 53, episode 1 completion rewards. So I'm just gonna keep going through them. I'm gonna actually read them, and maybe I'll say my opinions at the end. Okay, so I have read through most of the story now through Reddit. I did want to showcase this, that this is how they would look in the past the song. Unlock through clearing chapter 53's live show stage 10. Kagayaki, don't forget, is the newest song. I haven't listened to it yet or anything, but this is how they would look before. So they are locked until you clear the stage. Now most songs would be like this, like that, but because the game is ending, they actually have went ahead and unlocked everything, so you don't actually need to not even read the stories. They did unlock the stories as well, but they also unlocked the songs. But just know that that's how it was in the past. So we'll go back here to the Rainbow Connection. I'm not gonna be reading out the entire episode in the video, but I will be recording it. So we have episode 10, Kagayaki, don't forget. I don't really know what Kagayaki means. I'm not at that level of Japanese yet. But like in a nutshell, the summary of this chapter is that they were organizing a festival in Odaiba, which is where Nijigasaki is located. Something that they wanted to do for their town, well, it's more like their district, but whatever. So they did, and well, throughout the story is like they're organizing stuff and stuff that happens throughout the day. And in this last one, they were saying like flying lanterns with messages on them that they wanted to show. And this is the final chapter. The members of the Nijigasaki stand on the stage for the final show of the Odaiba Rainbow Carnival. Sing your newest song and make history. I'll go here a little bit because I did wanted to showcase what the options of the actual story are. I mean, if I'm showing everything, I may as well do that as well. Alright, so from here, this is where you like take out the options. So the order is, this is to skip the story straight up. This is to just hide the UI so you can take a picture of the background. This shows you the lock, and if you click on here, it will play back the voice line that was said in that dialogue. Same with this one, and this one enables autoplay. Right, so you can just close it again if you don't want autoplay to happen. Wait, what the hell? Now you tap it again actually. Whoops. But those are the basic controls. So okay, I'm gonna keep going through this. I'll be recording, but I don't think I'll play everything. So yeah. They're playing the first title theme. It feels really nostalgic. Kagayaki, don't forget. It's almost like they did it already, even though I haven't done it. There won't be a tomorrow. Well, there's 30 days. Everyone here was number 1. Except the one on top right. Alright. That's the end of the story. Here's the thing. Even previous chapters, well, most chapters they have. This is a super stage, and after stage 9, there's usually stage, super stage, and then episode 10. And a few select chapters even have episode 10 part 1 and episode 10 part 2. But here they chose to have the song as the very last one, which is interesting to me. So I'm gonna do the song. I'm actually gonna take my headphones off for a moment because I have not heard anything with it, and I want to hear it with the performance. The thrill born that day, from now until forever. There's usually a tip here, but not for this one. Alright, here we go. Well, it was my first time listening to it. I think I like it. It evokes a little of a bittersweet emotion. Maybe I need to listen to it again later. Well, and now, thank you for continuing to enjoy Love's Live School Idol Festival All-Stars. Normally this would actually say, you have read all the stories, wait for the next update, but not on this one, of course. Well, and that's the end. If we look back into the main show, we will see that the song is now unlocked, so we can play it. We can see the actual gimmicks because, well, it was nothing, but here they actually asked you for 13 million. I noticed that it's a song that has 200 notes. For an advanced one, that never happens. That's expert territory. I don't think it's all that hard from these preliminary readings, but that's fine. What else can I show you? Whenever you clear any story chapter, there is usually going to be a goal here of finishing it, and it gives you 10 stars. So because I've done it, I get this. Additionally, I guess I'll show it here. The pre-release song in this case was our pieces for this last month, for May. Any plays that you actually did on it, they count towards the goal that will enable after they do the full release of the song, so like this one. And of course they also enabled the newest song, which is Kakayaki, don't forget, where is it? We should have a single play. Here it is, yeah. And that's it, I guess, honestly. Now I have 100% clear of everything. It will always say 100. Hey, why does it not say clear in here? That's weird. Huh. Well, it does say it's clear here. Thing is, they usually do that when there's probably concluded, but maybe they haven't marked it. It should say clear here because that was the last story. I mean, okay, it's not like I feel super bittersweet or a bit sad. Like with the Miracle 9 in SIF, the final Muse story, that one genuinely fills me with feelings every time that I read that, or even if I just see that final still. For this one, it didn't really do it for me. Maybe if they had done like that final thing at the very end, as I said, like have the song and then chapter 10 part 2 or something like that. I don't know. Well, I mean, there's still a month of the game and still have to make more videos about it. I'm pretty much doing a lot of SIFAS. I'm involving myself with a lot of SIFAS than I have for the last couple of months of years in this small period, but that was it for the story then. If we check here, well, I've already claimed most of them, but the completion things for each chapter go here. I had already claimed the other one, so that's fine. I had some like little personal experiences that I wanted to share. So like, remember when I said that before the stories you needed to clear them in order to unlock the songs and all of that? When the game first released, I'm gonna say that it wasn't incredibly super easy to clear all the songs. I remember getting filtered in the Kanata solo because I didn't have any good healer cards at that point. I had like just R's, and that song has some damage notes. Even though for today's standards for myself it's puny, it's like 400 notes of damage. I mean 400 points of damage and a couple of notes like that. But back then I had unleveled cards and it was really hard, so I remember getting filtered on that song for a few days until I could upgrade some cards to actually get through it. Even there's a song which is Mitaiken Horizons. That song has an AC where you have to activate a certain amount of skills, and it's really hard to do if you don't actually have like a skill formation to do it. I even died when that song released in the story version of it. I died on it. I don't remember which chapter it was, but it's just like a funny thing. Another thing about story, I guess that I can just tell you. As I told you, I generally have not read since chapter 27 ended, and this is chapter 53. because I genuinely didn't care. But usually I would take like the Saturday mornings. Thing is, this game released like 3 weeks before the pandemic hit and we were forced into shutdown. So almost the entirety of that time ever since then I've been with the game. And back then I used to wake up on Saturday. Thing is, I wake up at 7 AM on weekdays and I start working at 8, so 7 to 8 I just prepare for that. Normally at 7 I would like play a little bit of SIFAS, right? But on Saturdays I would wake up at 7 sometimes, if not at 8, and I would just have like a 1 hour reading session of the latest SIFAS story or the event one or even the Bond episodes. I guess I just wanted to mention that because it's something else that I have with the game. But I think that's everything that I wanted to share about the story of the game. As I said, I didn't actually go into the detail of what it was or give my opinion on it. I mean, I thought it was like decent. You know, what they try to do is like they try to put the 3 schools in the same universe and then they cooperate with each other and blah blah blah. Of course, the season 2 stuff was really bad for a lot of people. I still don't like this character at all, and I just act as if it doesn't exist. I don't think it was handled right. Like, I don't think that they just can't make a villain character, but this one was just so unlikable for me, so... But I don't want to get into that specifically. I just wanted this video to showcase what the story component of SIFAS was, and I have done that now. So, thank you for watching. That's gonna be it for this episode. I'm gonna leave the playlist in here so you can check out the other features of the game, and also for the next episode. And for now, the video is over.